Hey everyone, welcome to Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
Matt.
Today we got a special episode for you, a battle royale, if you will. We got two silverback gorillas going in the cage against each other, one defending Shang-Chi, one criticizing it.
I got dibs on Wong. I'll be Wong.
Okay. So, I don't know. I guess, Major, you liked Shang-Chi?
Loved it. Absolutely.
I liked it too.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I thought it was really good.
Might have been my favorite origin movie next to Doctor Strange.
I'm sort of in the middle. I mean, like I said, I was really apprehensive watching it because I thought my apartment was going to burn down because my coffee pot was on. But I don't know. I thought it was a little too long for my taste. The first half was okay, but I just didn't really care for like the talking pillow telling them where to go in the forest. That was a little silly.
I thought the Trevor inclusion was really enjoyable.
It's like
the perfect amount of that annoying ass character. I mean, there's so much. Like, I was really apprehensive about Awkwafina joining like the MCU because I just find her annoying personally. Like, not as like a person, but like the characters that she plays. But I thought that was the right amount of Awkwafina.
I was just like, Marvel, are you trying to create another Baby Groot toy craze with this talking pillow with wings?
I think it worked. My wife said, "Aw."
Exactly, yeah. You have to buy one for Christmas now. They got you. Feige knows what the ladies like. So Major, you loved it.
Yeah.
Robbie liked it. Matt did not care for it as much.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
There was some parts that were good, but overall, the last 40 minutes I was sitting there wanting it to end.
It dragged, yeah. I was just like...
That is true, dragged on a little bit, but I'm still going to defend the hell out of it, because I thought the pacing was nice. Like, there was some, obviously exposition dumps, but really, overall, I didn't think it was too long of a movie. Let me tell you this, for 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2.5 hours?
It's probably 2.5 hours, and that's like way too long for a movie these days.
It certainly clipped
that long?
faster than Army of Dead.
Yeah, and it was way faster. I think it didn't drag as bad as Eternals did. So, but I mean, I think
2 hours, 12 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't so much a Shang-Chi movie as it was Shang-Chi and his sister. And, I think like her inclusion, maybe she should have been saved for a sequel. I thought she sort of stole the spotlight from him, and it's supposed to be like his movie. And, when the main character of the movie gets his butt kicked by, his sister, it's kind of hard to.
No, I mean, his sister,
it's a character arc.
His sister who didn't actually.
He also wasn't trying to fight her. It was more like defense, and she kept coming.
But what were you saying, Matt?
The sister who never actually trained, only watched her brother train, and went to her room by herself to practice the moves. Like,
yeah,
but she's like the best fighter ever now. All of a sudden,
yeah. Little plus, Abomination and Wong apparently friends. That was kind of weird.
That was I actually laughed at that. The fact that they were
buddies.
They're buddies, and they're trying to sell the fights that way they can win money off of it. I thought that was kind of...
Oh, okay. I thought they were legitimately fighting, but they were like friends. So I was like, I probably need more explanation on that. Like, did they know each other before he became Abomination? And
I think it was for the show.
What show?
Well, the whole thing was basically a show.
But how did they meet? How did they meet though? That's my point.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's this? Force is calling for a prequel. A Wong and Abomination spin-off.
Army of Wongs.
But like, what about the bus scene? That was amazing. Like,
the bus scene was really cool.
Yes, him dodging a machete for 5 minutes.
And half the bus being chopped off while having no brakes and having to do this. It was just way over the top. Way over the top.
It was way too CGI laden.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna do like a bus stunt, they should use an actual bus and not. It was way too obviously CGI'd for something that did not need that much CGI.
Yeah. And it had a bass drop in it.
It actually was a lot of practical, because if you watch some of those links I send you guys,
It was CGI.
It wasn't
Rob.
all CGI.
The inside wasn't, but the outside parts were, and that's my point.
Well,
But
I'm sorry.
Did
you want that to be practical? I'm sorry. Did you want a real bus to fly down a real San
Yes,
Francisco
yes,
street?
yes.
Right.
Speed
Yeah,
did it.
the whole
Who did it?
practical
Speed did it. Get out of here.
until the part where it
Until it
breaks
wasn't.
free and they have that slow-mo scene.
And it's a bass drop
jumping
in the middle of a movie. Wow.
There was a lot of CGI inside the bus.
I really
too.
enjoy bass drops.
There was
a lot of
I'm on Major's side with this one.
I'm just saying, like, you need CGI when you're doing like a giant dragon and stuff, but if you're doing like a bus stunt, it's not really. You can use practical effects. It's okay.
As I could. I watched the whole behind the scenes thing about it.
I mean, for the inside, but it was mostly CGI, though.
But I love.
It can't be mostly if it's just the outside of the windows.
It was inside too.
I love the
wasn't.
fight. The fight was good itself, but the narrative of like Awkwafina going, "Oh, he's nobody," and "Oh, hey, check it out! I'm actually this really cool kung fu guy." You didn't know that? Cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of lame, but they
Are you talking
did
about
something.
When Awkwafina sees him with his shirt off, and she's like, "Where'd that come from?"
Mm-hmm. But they continually do in this movie what I hate that Marvel's been doing lately. When you have these serious moments, and then all of a sudden somebody has to drop a one-liner really quick to ha 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 ha. It's like break up the serious moment. We were complaining about that in another show or movie a few weeks ago.
Well,
but like when they're on the plane, first off, they got tickets, no problem, to fly to China the very next day, and he's telling her his backstory. And then all of a sudden,
about the pacing and the length of the movie, and then complain about them cutting out the scene where they buy tickets.
But no, I'm just saying you can buy tickets like that day when you're ballets to fly all the way to China. Like, come on, that's no. But the fact that he's explaining his backstory.
There's something called the suspension of disbelief, and pacing. So
I know. It's a tiny gripe. But like he's explaining his backstory.
I don't think this is.
And all of a sudden,
and did they say it was the next day?
No, I'm saying like I don't think it's the same as like Wonder Woman.
One day later,
stole a plane from the Smithsonian. Like that is clearly a problem.
Yes.
That is a cinema.
Yes. I will say this movie's a masterpiece compared to Wonder Woman in 1984. I will say like my problems with Shang-Chi are very minuscule compared to Wonder Woman,
the most
whatever that was.
Compliments of 1984.
Okay, and then. Just to get back to this first fight scene well. The dad sends assassins to bring his sons back because he knows that nobody can kill his son or daughter.
Yeah.
That makes sense? I mean...
No. But it's a cool line.
Yeah.
I guess...
what if somebody did?
Razor Fist thought he was, I don't know, pretty tough. Well, he wasn't trying to kill him. He was just trying to get the necklace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was just like
looked like he was trying to kill him.
Well, maybe that was like just.
That's what happens when you're Edward Scissorhands, right? Everything looks like you're trying to kill him. I was just
trying
to shake his hand.
He cut a bus in half, trying to chop him. All right, he was trying to kill him.
Well, I think like the Mandarin or whatever
I believe
was
he
just
was trying to kill him.
Oh yeah, but I think his primary goal was to get the necklace, but it's kind of hard to grab it when you have a knife for a hand.
Oh my god.
So
there's so much wrong with this movie.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember. So they got both necklaces, and apparently the bad guy Wenwu needed them to find a map.
Yep.
To get to Talo,
which he never needed to look at before he gave it to his children.
Oh wait, he had an invite to where his sister was, thinking it was from his sister,
but it was from his dad.
It was like a whole setup to get them together.
And here's another quick thing too. I don't mind paying homage to other films, and I loved how when they're showing the fight between the father and the mother, all the different like kung fu movies that they're showing, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but like the way she draws the circle is like just in almost every movie. What I hate is when you blatantly rip off a movie, and when they're doing that fight scene, it's straight out of Skyfall. With the back being illuminated, them in a room by themselves doing the fight. and it's just a straight ripoff. It's not an homage; it's a straight ripoff, and it's
Skyfall,
maddening.
The James Bond movie.
Yes, the James Bond movie.
Oh no, I'd have to.
I remember that scene.
I'll send pictures later. But yeah, there's
do.
a very iconic fight scene where in the background it's illuminated by the building behind it, and it's blue, and it's two guys in a room by themselves fighting.
Oh, but this is a guy and a girl, so it's different.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, send us pictures later. Someone will put them on Twitter. You guys can tweet at us, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I think basically the halfway point of the movie is where it sort of lost me because it was like sort of overly reliant on flashbacks and like showing the bad guy playing so sort of a disbelief on me taking him seriously after that point.
I thought it was like a really good. What I took away from that is like that power corrupts people. I mean, because he looked like a fun dad.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no bad guys, no supervillain out there is playing Dance Dance Revolution with your family.
And it's using like what he wants the most as a get him to go and open that door
that he loved more than power.
Yeah, that he wants to get his wife back, so that's making him think his wife is still alive.
I was kind of confused as to why the wife was killed. Like the husband owned some crime syndicate, some money.
It was
just
like
wasn't there.
Basically, they came and killed his
you
wife.
pay a blood debt for a blood debt. So so bad guy killed one of the Iron Gang's members.
He didn't finish paying for that Wii. He had 3 payments left in that Wii, so they had to collect.
Damn you, layaway.
I just thought, the one time I wanted a little bit more exposition, it was just kind of vague. It's like, it's a crime syndicate,
Yeah.
We're here to kill you.
Cool.
Which part?
When they killed his mother.
Wife.
When they killed
about just like who they were exactly, or
and like why?
Yeah, I guess I didn't go into detail who exactly they were or what the debt was. Yeah.
But I feel like on the other hand,
but it was basically he's done so much stuff. It could have been like any of them.
Yeah,
apparently he's trying to retire with his wife, but all of his history basically isn't going to let him retire, and he pulls the rings back out. And
just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Godfather Part 3. Yeah.
And what I hated the most about this film is the next half an hour for 2 reasons. One, the huge retcon with the Mandalorian. Not Mandalorian.
The Mandarin.
Gosh, the Mandarin. That was a slip up. The Mandarin. Oh yeah, I'm really just an actor, and it's really this guy who's in charge. And it's like, come on.
Well, that was Iron Man 3, wasn't it? So
yeah, Iron Man 3. Yep.
They had a whole spinoff. Like, oh, bro, you gotta get past that. That was like a mistake.
That was 7 years ago.
That was a mistake from like 7 years ago. They're doing the best they can now.
This was like basically an apology. Even though I think, didn't he say like the Mandarin, like he wasn't even called the Mandarin. He was like, that's the name of an orange or something like that.
They named it after a chicken dish.
Yeah. Although I think Mandarin actually there's different definitions for the word. Like, it's a language, it's, an orange, but it's also like a name for like an aristocrat or like a scholar in Chinese society. So I think that's what Stan Lee was going with when he created the character in the 60s. But I don't know.
All right. So we're going to leave then all the major characters unguarded, one who's already escaped from this prison, and have them led by a talking pillow.
Yeah.
And the issue I have is they find the map to Talo. The talking pillow tells them how to go through the woods, right?
Right.
How did people get through this before cars? Because they're like full speed.
They rode bikes very quickly.
Yeah,
they're full speed going through, and they barely make it. Like, how did people in the first century BCE make it through this path?
Maybe it doesn't want them, and it's trying to keep up with them, but the car's too fast.
Maybe the forest associates with whatever speed vehicle you have. It's just relative.
It's obvious. Yeah. They just have to stay in the bubble, man. That's all they have to do. They just have to stay in the bubble.
Maybe it's a super advanced society, so they always had cars. Maybe, I don't know.
But when so they have to go through the secret maze to get through. Blah 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 blah. How does the father and his army show up?
They have
the map. They have the map.
Remember using necklaces
but
to make the map?
It doesn't matter about the map. They can only go through this part. It only opens up once a year.
Yeah.
And it opened up for them. and then it closed.
Oh no, that was a different one. So the pillow pet took the
like gave him the
like knows the maze, but the
Yeah.
dad just took the map, the straight through line. So like they took two different paths.
yeah. The path he took was like the straight way through.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we have an insider. Like they can. That's how they got to.
That's
Talos
the one
first.
that's out there.
They took a shortcut. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
they
gonna have
take
to
a short-
reread that when you watch that because like that no, like they emphasize that you could only get to this place once a year. Like there was a path and it only opened up once a year. And you had to have the map to know the path, but the pillow knew the path.
Unless you knew a guy who's been there.
Yeah, the pillow knew how to navigate the maze, so he was able to. He didn't have to wait for the opening.
Yeah, it's best not to think about it. Honestly, I just figured that
Yeah.
my motive, my reasoning when I saw the movie when the Mandarin showed up was like, oh well, he had a map. I mean, I didn't really know that there was like only opened once a year, but I don't know. Best just not to dwell on it.
I just want to point out that Matt said that they emphasized, and Forrest said that he didn't realize it at all. So one of us was paying
Coffee
too much
pot.
attention. You're just thinking about the coffee pot the whole time.
Yeah. Unless you had a bunch of papers up nearby, I don't think your coffee pot would have done anything.
You just look at the map.
It would have just got very hot and stayed very hot.
I mean, it would have smoked, and eventually, the fire alarm would have gone off. And then, like, it was a Sunday, so like I don't think the managers are working there, so the fire department would have had to come. It
You
would
just
have
stroll
been a big
back
to-do.
eating some AMC popcorn, and like you see like your apartment building's on fire, and you're like, "Hey guys, Shang-Chi was really good."
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so what was the main? Well, the true
So-
villain was an evil dragon that
Yeah,
sucked
and-
souls.
And Aquafina
Oh,
learned how to fire a bow in like a day.
Yeah, that was my only problem. That was my
Yeah.
biggest gripe.
'Cause
Like,
they
I'm
weren't
cool with
there
her
that
learning
long.
how to shoot a bow and arrow and participate in the war, but like to be the
That
killing
accurate.
blow in the neck of the dragon, like that was too much for me. That should have been where the sister.
I can agree with that part, yeah.
I don't remember that.
But also Shang-Chi, his auntie shows up and teaches him in a day how to be a dude who's 4,000 years old, who's been practicing, all this. In a day, he can learn this one technique that can defeat
Hey, why
his
do you think
dad.
why
It's
do you
like
think
wearing-
they keep it locked away? They don't want anybody to know those secrets, or else everybody would be able to do it in a day.
It's like he
Well,
has,
that's
he
the thing.
has
It's
the
like
10
learning a
rings in the fight.
language. It's like learning a language. After your 10th one, the 11th one's like really easy to pick up, right? So if you know 40 different styles of martial arts, then the 41st one's not.
Yeah, what was
easy.
it like? Every way to kill a person? Or
It's
something?
like what he had to do. He had to like open his arm, open up this hand, and move this arm forward, and then boom, he mastered the technique.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
photographic.
I could have learned that in a day, Matt.
It was like basic Tai Chi.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see a lot more, but the fight between his father and him, I just didn't buy the narrative, and B,
I feel
it got
if his
super
father-
CGI.
If his father could have, I bet his father could have kicked his ass.
Mm.
I don't think he totally wanted it.
I think
it
the
was
father was more distracted or more preoccupied with trying to open the gate.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
just wanted his son to leave him alone while he opened the gate.
But there was also a part where like they're fighting, and then Shang-Chi like gets knocked down or something, and he looks up and his dad's already across the lake.
He pogo
That's
sticks
the case.
across the lake.
Yeah.
Like
Boing.
Boing.
I'm not even
That I was like, okay, maybe
Hey,
those.
there's all kinds of stuff you could do with those
Yeah,
rings.
I mean,
you
like-
just figured out how to bounce with them.
There was a cool part where Shang-Chi like used the rings as like stepping stones to kick his dad in the face. Like I thought that was like really creative. Like the martial
Yeah,
arts was like really
It's
good.
just
The
what you can think
choreography.
of is the power you can use with it.
2 pogo sticks. Yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of. It didn't really. It kind of made me not think. of
Or
him
like
as
when
as a badass anymore. Like with the Wii.
when he got the rings and he put both hands to the ground and just bounced up to the dragon.
Yeah.
Basically.
But when they first get to the village, I paused it to like grab a beer, and it was an hour and 20 minutes in.
Oh,
So when they get to the village to
Oh,
when
wow.
this fight ends is
Another
over
hour.
40 minutes.
Yeah,
And it was just like,
that should have been like 20 minutes.
That
at
including all
most.
the training and introduction to the village
Yeah.
and stuff. Though.
yep, it was
So
over
that's not just the
40
battle.
minutes.
That was me with
No,
Eternals.
Because Endgame had a 40-minute fight scene. Like the last 40 minutes.
That was kind of
fighting.
That was an awesome fight scene.
Right.
Yeah, but that was like a buildup of several movies coming together.
Oh,
and
everybody
like
was
ending this phase of the Marvel movies. This is literally just 45 minutes, like a third of the movie.
Yeah, that's
just in this
like
one
we're
part.
used to it. We're used to like we get that in-game heroine where like if it's gonna be the last 40 minutes, it better be 40 minutes of fighting, and this was 45 minutes of of talking and fighting. So like
I had the same issue with Eternals. Like I was convinced 2 hours had passed when I was watching it. I looked at my phone, like been only an hour and 20. And then I was convinced an hour and 2 hours and a half, 2.5 hours had passed. Looked at my phone again, an hour and 21 minutes. That's how long that movie dragged on. But
it really had me invested, especially at the first half of the movie.
Which one, Eternals?
Eternals, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was checking my phone regularly. I was just like,
"Oh,
is it over yet?"
I wasn't really checking what time it was till later in the movie.
Plus, we could have gotten there half an hour late because the
oh god, it really was
previews.
30 minutes. I thought they were usually 15 minutes. Now they're up to 30 minutes of previews.
It's like, damn, what movies are even coming out right now? Everything's been pushed back.
Mm-hmm. So
I was watching it with Maurice, and one of the jokes that was pretty funny was earlier in the movie he was talking about how his son was just sitting there watching his mom die, but at the same time he was a little kid. What is he gonna do against all those people? But what we thought was so funny was his dad gets grabbed by the evil dragon. What are they called again?
The Dweller of Darkness.
Soul suckers.
All right, Shang-Chi. How many Academy Awards do you think this will be nominated for?
I don't know. What's average? 7, 10, 20? All of them?
Martial arts. You gotta
cinematography?
remember Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture, so it could happen. Let's be honest. Speaking of which, do you know production's been shut down because I think the actress who plays the sister refuses to get vaccinated, so she can't travel to the U.S. or something like that.
Lols.
Oh man,
or something like that. And literally people said she said she was spreading anti-vax sentiments on set, and then she said she wasn't, but at the same time she's not promoting the vaccination either, so she's obviously very against it. But I don't know. Let's go to return to Shang-Chi. I mean, I really have nothing more to say about this movie. It's
Are you excited that Shang-Chi is entering the Avengers? Are you excited for the next Avengers movie with Shang-Chi in it?
Did you ever YouTube that end credit scene or anything? It was
No, I
kind of
never
cool
watched
with Doctor Strange and Wong meet up.
Yeah,
with
and
them.
I think Bruce Banner's human again.
Yeah. There were people wondering about why he was human Smart Hulk.
I think it's got to be something.
But his arm was still in a sling.
He's gonna show up in She-Hulk. I know, as is Abomination. I think which is coming out. I think next year. I think Hawkeye's the last Marvel property we're gonna get. Oh, well, no, Spider-Man: Far From Home. So we're Hawkeye and Spider-Man: Far From Home, and then we'll be all. Wow, we had a lot of Marvel stuff this year. Late half of the year, but
they released 16 new shows or whatever. This for Disney Plus. Crazy stuff.
I'm very pro-capitalism, but I'm starting to get fed up with Disney and Marvel. These movies that bring out new characters just to introduce minor characters who bring out other minor characters. That way we can have a show and start to get,
you're not gonna like Eternals then, because that's basically what they do with Kit Harington's character.
Well, I think it's interesting with the Eternals. I haven't seen it yet, but the director was the director of Nomadland. So
she won Best Director, I think.
Nice tip
for that movie. But the thing is, she does movies about rural America with very few characters, and now she's doing this world-busting, space epic with how many? Is it 10?
Yeah, they're introducing 10 characters that have never been seen before.
What?
Yeah. So basically, I think that's basically what Marvel does. They get these indie directors who have only directed really small budget movies, and then they hire them to do these Marvel movies. I think just basically because Feige wants control. and since they're not really, they haven't directed big movies before, they really don't have much of a say on the final product. But
And you don't have to pay them as much.
that's true. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Tip, we were talking about Shang-Chi. What's your assessment of it? 10 words or less.
10 words or less.
Although I have not seen it, it seems promising.
Okay.
Oh, that was good.
I have not seen it. It is promising. That's 9.
It is.
Or it
Which is
seems
cat-
promising. That's
which
10
is cat-
exactly.
You said
Cat
10 or
for-
less. Should
Yeah.
come in under.
I said
budget.
exactly 10.
Oh, okay.
It seems promising.
All right. So, what else do you want to talk about today, Matt? The Moon Knight trailer.
Morbius trailer,
Oh, okay.
because our favorite human being once again is back, ruining a franchise.
Now, Matt, you missed
so-
last week's episode, but Forrest actually defended. I asked the question, is Jared Leto a good actor? And Forrest said yes.
Well, he's won an
Yeah.
Oscar. So, I mean, I liked him in Requiem for a Dream. And
He is a good actor.
I'm trying to remember what else I saw him in.
He was in a ton of stuff as a kid too. I feel like
Dollar Shave Club.
there was some show. It was a Canadian show that he was in
Yeah.
that my wife likes.
Well, he was in Fight Club too, wasn't he? Like sort of the start of his career.
Mhm.
Then he did Requiem for a Dream. I mean, he didn't really wasn't in that movie to make much of an impression. He was just basically just like a good-looking guy that the narrator was jealous of because it seemed like Brad Pitt was giving more attention to him than the narrator. So the narrator basically just horribly disfigures Jared Leto.
Well,
He's American Psycho too.
Yep, he just seems like a guy who his head. Once he started his own band, his head got bigger than his talent. And he just seems like a horrible human being. Like I would never want to meet him in real life.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know?
30 Seconds to Mars was a good band, but
Doesn't he run like some?
doesn't seem good. Like there was a point where like recently in an interview for like the Suicide Squad or something, or maybe it was for the Snyder Cut or whatever, someone's asking him about like the rumors when he was playing the Joker, or was playing Joker in the original 2016 Suicide Squad, you know, about like the condoms and the rats and stuff, and he was like, I don't know who said all that stuff, but like it was him. So like the fact like he's like trying to distance himself from not only like actions he's done, but actions he's admitted to by saying like he doesn't know like how they started. Like it's just poor character, which shocker, was not a surprise.
He also played the guy. There's a movie where he was like the guy who shot Lennon. What was that guy's name? Mark David Chapman, or was that the guy who shot Reagan? But basically, he played that. Would you say it was Sir Hans? No, that was Robert Kennedy.
Oh God,
The House of Gucci.
Whoever
everyone's getting blasted.
Whoever shot John Lennon, he played him, and he looked totally unrecognizable. He gained like I think 60 pounds for that role, and like he just looks just like all like just fat and gross.
Was it Alexander? No, I'm kidding. I'm just finding names of I'm just looking at movies that he's in and picking ones that have first names on them.
Yes, I mean,
he was in Prefontaine.
Yeah, so
yeah, he was. I told y'all last week. He and like Billy Crudup made 2 Prefontaine movies in the same year.
Oh yeah. I was there for that episode.
I think I've heard the Crudup one is better, but I've seen none of them. I think Tip had to watch him because he was varsity cross country.
Oh yeah.
but for this trailer though, like
Yes. The trailer.
Morbius, I'm kind of frustrated because it's a Sony product once again, and I really love Blade. And in the '90s, they teamed up and had the 3 Daywalker crew in a bunch of comic books, which was like a really fun run that Morbius was a part of. And so I kind of like Morbius, but this trailer, first off, the color palette is super whack. It is like
Weird,
dark
right?
beyond dark, and I have a feeling that it's going to be a lot of those scenes where you're looking at your screen going, I have no clue what's going on right now. The whole Game of Thrones thing. But basically he's a doctor who has some disease and then sacrifices himself to a bunch of bats, and now he's a half vampire, I guess.
He's a scientifically made vampire, I guess.
Yeah.
A living vampire.
Yes, because he didn't technically die. He just got bit by some bats.
But in the trailer, I believe him when he's acting and he's like not healthy. But when he's all of a sudden badass and like butch, I don't buy that.
He
Like,
does play a good
this
sick
split-
character.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, he plays a good junkie.
So
Yeah. Well, they're definitely honing in on the fact that this movie takes place in the same universe as Venom.
Brought to you by Spider-Man.
Yep.
Venom.
Yeah. And it was like, this is as weird as the thing that happened in San Francisco. Looks at the camera, winks.
Yeah, a little hint of Spider-Man at the end of Venom too.
That was so weird. I don't know if y'all seen that cutscene, but it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what is.
Just yeah.
Like licks the TV.
The whole movie was strange.
I just think it's weird too because this takes place in San Francisco, right?
Oh,
Where
it does?
He's flying.
And
Yeah.
Shang-Chi takes place in San Francisco. I love how you're gonna have to like avoid, Sony and Disney characters,
And Vulture's in this too, so don't forget. Doing a really over-the-top New York accent, which he didn't have in Homecoming. He's like, "Hey Doc, we should keep in touch." Sounds like John Travolta. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this movie is it coming out? Is it coming out this month or January? I think it's coming out January, right? So it'll be like the first Marvel thing next year, or not truly Marvel, but like first like superhero thing next year, I think. So I don't know. We'll see. It has, I think, Doctor Who's in it. He was
Tennant?
in the trailer. No, Matt Smith.
Oh,
Matt
okay.
Smith, yeah.
So I think he's going to be the eviler vampire in this, I think.
What do you think about the design of the vampires? You think it looks good?
I mean, I don't know why his face needs to be CGI when it's white. Why can't they just put makeup on him? Because it looks like when he goes full like the comic book version with the white face, it's like all CGI. I'm just like, why can't they just paint his face white?
Yeah, or like a mask, do something practical effects.
Or give him some fangs, yeah. So it's just like, it seems like unnecessary CGI. I mean, Venom, you need CGI for when he's Venom, but not for Morbius.
Even his eye contacts aren't contacts.
Doesn't it make his kind of face all skinnier and stuff though? That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But I think it's just like unnecessarily CGI. Like his entire face is CGI.
You can add more face, but hard to take away more face.
Force is just gonna name this episode "Unnecessary CGI."
Yeah.
Unnecessarily.
That damn
Unnecessary face off.
Yeah.
I want to take his face off. Thank you, Mr. Cage, for that one.
I don't think I've seen that one.
A
I've seen
true
parts
American
of it.
hero. Yeah.
I was like, I don't.
Face off. They switched. Faces.
I actually watched a video on YouTube about whether his acting is genius or dumb, and they were actually on the belief that he is a genius actor. I'll have to find the video for you guys.
It's one of my favorite.
Well, he won
episodes.
an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas, so he can't act. And
look at this guy.
It's just like
for everything. He won an Oscar.
Well, my point is like when you get to a certain level of success, directors can't tell you no at a certain point, and they're just like, this is how I'm going to do it. And I think he just got to such a height of success that he felt he could do like any creative choice he made for his character was a good one, and the director probably couldn't say anything because like he's a huge
I think
star.
He's like Jeff Goldblum. He's got a brand now. I mean, they got him in his own Netflix show, right?
Yeah.
One about swear words.
Oh,
Like, I love Nicolas Cage. I wouldn't want him to change a single thing. There's a movie he stars in, and it's like the most meta thing in the world. It's about him and his twin. He plays both characters.
Adaptation.
What's it called? Adaptation.
Charlie
It's
Kaufman.
so meta and weird, and I can't figure out if it's absolutely brilliant or the dumbest thing in the world.
Well, it's the same guy who did. It's the same guy who did Being John Malkovich, and he wrote that screenplay without even telling John Malkovich.
Yep.
And John Malkovich just happened to agree to do it.
That
was definitely a meta.
The hell out of me for so long because like I was like no, like I always thought that actor's name was John Malkovich, but then like looking at like the movie trailer or like the poster for it, like his face and it's being John Malkovich, I'm like there's no way they named the movie after the actor, so that must not be the actor's name. So I was very confused for a very long time.
It's like he just liked Charlie Kaufman just liked John Malkovich's name, so he just wrote a movie about him. a pathway into his head. So,
I like it.
yeah, I haven't seen
Well, look,
adaptation.
here's why meta is draws that fine line between stupid and genius.
You talking about the Facebook company now?
Yeah, think about Mr. Show. Okay, all of Mr.
I love
Show
Mr.
is
Show.
just meta show, right? And Mr. Show is the definite like if you were to look up the best example of the fine line between stupid and genius, it's Mr. Show.
Yep,
I've only
Mr. Show with
seen-
Bob and
Completely
Dave.
stupid, but it's genius in its stupidity. It's like so stupid that it is.
What is
Really?
Mr.
I
Show?
only it's like a show with Bob
And-
Odenkirk, David Cross.
Yeah,
and
it's
I've only
it's
saw
so. I mean, David Cross. Oh gosh, it has.
It is my favorite show of the '90s. Like,
It's great. It's
Is it
up
HBO?
wonderful.
there with the state and Kids in the Hall. Like,
Oh,
it is
Seinfeld.
really good.
yeah, I think
But
Tenacious
it's
D,
like the meta show. It
Yeah.
is. It is. It made meta.
Jack Black got a star on Mr. Show, I think, like or Tenacious D
Yep.
premiered on Mr. Show. But I only remember like one
Nice.
sketch from Mr. Show, and it was like Bob Odenkirk was like this mad scientist trying to destroy the world, and he was like holding the world ransom for like 600 billion. So he was holding a pledge drive to raise the funds so he wouldn't destroy the world. And yeah, it was kind of very, very offbeat, strange humor, but it worked. Bob Odenkirk was the original Michael Scott, right? And he was
What?
actually they cast him, and because Steve Carell couldn't do it because he was on another show, and then Steve Carell's show that he was on got canceled, so they brought in Steve Carell at like the 11th hour. But
Dang.
Bob
Bob
Odenkirk,
Odenkirk would have made a good. Would have made a good.
it would have been different, but I think
Michael
he definitely has that like that awkward sort of scumbag sort of humor, sort of like Saul Goodman, but I don't know. I think
I like Bob Odenkirk as a writer because he's been a writer on so many things that you don't realize. Like he was writing for The Simpsons, for SNL, for the Dana Carvey show, like all these shows that you're like, wow, that makes a lot more sense. And there was a period of time where you put him in front of the camera, you're like, it's just not funny. But
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I like Better Call Saul. The only complaint I have with it is just like I don't really care about the Mike and Gus stuff now because we know what's going to happen. So
yeah,
the show I like is with Saul and the legal aspect of it because like we don't know what's going to happen with him and Kim, or I guess that's like all we need to find out, like how they break up or why or also what happened to her. But we know what's going to happen with Mike and Gus. Like they're just going to go on to eventually meet Walter and Jesse. So I don't know why they spend so much time on that stuff, but I think last season's going to be premiering next year. He had like a heart attack recently. He had a heart attack while they were filming it, so hopefully it gets better. Yeah, but I think he's making a recovery. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be the end of
an ambulance.
Too soon, Ted. I think that'll be the end of the Breaking Bad universe because they did El Camino. They did. I'm thinking if there's going to do another spinoff, it'll probably be like with Jesse, set in present day with him in Alaska. Since he's under a new identity. So I guess it's like one. That's like the only other spinoff I can think of. I don't think any other characters could. I mean, I don't think Hank deserves a spinoff. Or
no,
we'll just say he died. So it's really tough to make a prequel now because they're
so much older.
Exactly.
Oh, he died. Spoiler. Hello.
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
Well, the guy was a meth dealer, and his brother-in-law was a DEA agent. It was a matter of time.
Yeah. All right. So I guess last thing we talked about, since no one watched Dexter, is the Moon Knight footage, which I didn't really leave an impression on me. It was just sort of like I think it was.
Fast. What happened?
Well, it wasn't like officially released either. I think it was just like a bootleg version that released online.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one I saw was like 47 seconds long.
Yeah. It's like I think he's like doing an English accent, so I guess it's like one of his personalities. I'm guessing. But I think I remember seeing the white cape. I saw like the moon copter flying over the moon. And I just remember seeing like Oscar Isaac doing stuff, but I didn't really leave an impression. Nothing in it was there excited me.
See, my problem is I never read Moon Knight before, so I'm gonna have to go out and like get the comics, the next convention or something.
Read like the Charlie Houston run, I guess, because that was like in 2006, and that's probably like when he became like really gritty. He has a really good art by David Finch, but
Okay.
that's probably
Understood.
that's probably the jumping on point for most modern Moon Knight readers.
I'm seeing a
And-
trailer for it that's 2 minutes long that was posted.
Oh, that's probably not real then. It's probably
Yeah,
fan made.
Moon Knight's
Oh,
exclusive
okay.
first look.
Yes,
Disney Plus came out November 12th.
yes. His specialty is he moons criminals, and they're
Makes
so
It's that white
and
ass,
they're
which is also going to be CGI.
and they're so and they're so traumatized they give up their criminal ways and turn themselves in. So I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Blinded by the light.
I like Oscar Isaac, so I'm sure he'll do a good job. I know Ethan Hawke's going to be in it. Apparently he's playing like some sort of David Koresh cult leader. So I think he's.
Now, is this
playing...
Sorry.
No, what were you saying?
So is this going to be a Disney release or like?
It'll be Disney. So but I
okay.
really think he's trying. Kevin Feige wants some Dark Knight, Daredevil energy infused in this. So but we'll just see. I don't think it's coming out till next year. But I like I said, the trailer or whatever the footage released didn't really leave an impression on me. So hopefully there'll be something more official released later on.
It's got less than 1 million views.
They also
Very,
released,
very
I think,
subpar.
some She-Hulk, not some footage, but some photos. I think so, or some what is it? Aspect art, promotional art, whatever. So
There's an official teaser.
oh, okay.
It's
Eh.
Oh no, it's just it's 20. It's no. Yeah, they're moving around, but they're also just talking. But there's
Okay.
footage.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess maybe next week we can talk about Dexter if everyone wants, because we'll talk the first 2 episodes. Since I think the
Is there a
second
place you
episode's
can
out
look at it without Showtime?
It's like you can get it for like free for a week.
Free for a week. Awesome. I can watch
Yeah,
the
and
first
then they
episode
charge
and
you.
then, and then nothing after that. Yeah.
It's like $5. It's like $5 for the first
No
5
one-
months.
It was
Watches
$10.99 when I
Showtime.
looked at it.
No, it's $5. It's probably like 10 with Hulu.
I think
So
I'll probably just wait until the season is over before watching it because it's probably not going to be that good. I mean,
Okay.
how do you like it so far?
yeah, the first episode was really strong.
Well,
I think it's
I'll watch it this week, and we'll talk through text over it. So that way we can at least
You can
discuss it.
Pitch me on it. Yeah, I can find like an episode breakdown online, and I'll BS my way through an episode. That's not
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our show, and hopefully we'll have something to talk about next week. But yeah, I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
Go ahead, plug some socials.
I'm
Go ahead.
Plugging socials. You can find us on Twitter at Zealot Podcast or Zealots. Yeah, Zealot Podcast on Twitter. You can also join our Discord. That link is in the Twitter bio as well. Come tweet at us. Let's have a conversation about your favorite comic books. Are you looking forward to Moon Knight? Do you think Shang-Chi was bad? Or are you correct that Shang-Chi was awesome? Let me know.
All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right. See ya.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
And I'm Robbie.
Today, I think we're mainly going to try to discuss Cowboy Bebop, the Netflix adaptation. So I think I've only seen the first 4 episodes, and I think halfway through the 5th. And I think everyone online was either saying this is going to be amazing or awful, and it was neither, in my opinion. So far, I think it's somewhere in the middle, like most media.
It's not
But
bad.
I think I like it better than Jupiter's Legacy.
Much better than Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely the showrunners were definitely big fans of the anime. But I think some of its weak spots are just like giving story arcs to people who are really just ancillary characters in the show, like Vicious and Julia. So I don't know, and just some other
I thought that was
issue.
a good way to fill some time.
Yeah, no, I just thought the story arc of him just want to take over the city was just kind of boring, and it's like I don't know. Maybe it'll pay off later. I'm not even done with the series yet, but I think the first episode is basically just an adaptation of the first episode from the anime. So
is it okay? That's good to know. See, I'm coming to
the Red Eye
with maybe I've seen a total of 5 minutes of Cowboy Bebop in my lifetime before this. I did not have high expectations. You know, there's a reason why I only watched 5 minutes of the anime. You know, growing up versus every episode of Dragon Ball Z, to put in perspective for my Toonami watching ages. But I was, after the initial shock and awe of what it is, I thought it turned out to be a really kind of charming buddy cop show.
Yeah, and they keep like the same feel of it from the anime.
I think they brought
the character's personality.
The composer from the anime composes this show. I think Yoko Kanno.
Yeah, the jazz was really, I don't want to say like off-putting, but it really stood out in the beginning, and then it became like quite enduring as like time went on.
Yeah, if they didn't have the jazz music, the fans would have rioted.
Yeah, I love how they didn't really touch the intro at all.
The intro is the exact same as the anime.
They hit the same. So. Yeah, they just replaced the anime characters with the live action characters.
They were just like, we can't do anything better than Tank, so we just gotta, reuse it. So, and they do reuse a lot of the music from the anime in this show. So, I mean, at least,
and it's like a nostalgia factor.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're going for. So, yeah, I don't know. I think just my big issues are just like, I think the guy who plays Spike, John Cho, he doesn't really seem to want to be there. Maybe that's just me.
Is that his character?
Isn't his character kind of like that?
Just like,
it's been a long time since I watched the anime. I need to rewatch.
I think his character is a little bit more friendly, or just a little bit more. Well, he's like a lot younger than the anime. I think like John Cho's like almost 50, and Spike's like in his late 20s. I mean,
he's very, very, very much in shape for his age.
He is. Yeah, he's in great shape.
As you get to see with that awkward montage in like episode 2 or 3.
But I just feel maybe like a younger actor would have gotten Spike's spontaneity a little bit better. But I don't know. I mean, he does okay. It definitely looks like Spike. So I mean,
yeah, what a costume, what a get up with the tie and the popped dress collar. I thought he wears it well.
I think the guy who plays Jet Black does a good job. I think he definitely tried to be more like his character from the anime than.
I really enjoyed like the dynamic between the two of them.
Yeah, so that's what. Again, the problem is like with like John Cho being like 50 and like Jet's supposed to be older than Spike, so it's like sort of like a mentor mentee, even though they're partners relationship. But I don't know. I guess they do. I guess they do sort of have chemistry in the show. So.
Yeah, I would say they definitely do. That's what really attracted me towards like the end of episode 2 and episode 3 and 4.
How do you feel about Faye?
Is that Faye Valentine? Yes, yeah. I know exactly who that is because right before she died, she said her name 100 times. Oh, spoiler alerts. But she didn't die.
No.
So far, so good. I don't know the source material, right? So all I have is to go off of, and so I mean, I think acting-wise, she's doing great. I like the character so far. I like she turned back and she chose the right thing. I think it's going to be a positive addition to the dynamic duo.
Yeah, I have a viewpoint from not really knowing the anime, so
I think maybe the critics who gave it bad reviews didn't watch the anime either. So it's like for like a newcomer, it's like sort of like, what is this? And it's sort of I don't know, but I think people will
compare it to.
Yeah, so I'm not sure the audience score is. I think I think
glanced. It's much higher.
Okay, yeah, I think like the fans will enjoy it more because it really was made for the fans,
and
not just fans of the anime. So, but like, yeah, I can understand like newcomers not getting it. So.
Yeah, it gets really hot in those studios, so they have
but awkward. Super awkward. The anime, the 1998 Cowboy Bebop one season, has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But I don't know if those same critics reviewed the Netflix show.
It's 100% fresh.
If it's 0, it's 100% rotten. So, but how many of those same critics reviewed the actual show?
Oh, I don't know. You have to,
Yeah.
I guess cross-reference the two, but it's gone up to 51% on Rotten Tomatoes and 76% like it on Google users.
Oh, okay.
I see 52 audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes for the live one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
51 and 52. I guess.
Oh wow!
I figure the
guess
fans of
it's
the anime
really
are going to be
down.
extremely nitpicky because a lot of them online were like, "It's either going to be amazing or awful," and it's it's in the middle, like most
Can't it just
media.
be okay?
It's like it was never going to be as good as the anime. It was just going to be.
Why does it have to be the best show you've ever seen? Why can't it just be
Some people
a
give
good use of
Like, the
Some
anime
people
is amazing.
just- Some people just like to slap too good a label on something.
I mean, the anime is great, and it's probably like one of my favorites. But like, I never thought this was going to be as good as the anime.
Yeah, I went in not having really high hopes for it, and I'm enjoying it.
Yes, I mean, I was just like, the anime will always be around. You can always rewatch it, But this
Still
is
got
just like,
that feel to it.
Yeah.
What platform can you observe these?
Netflix. Both the anime and the live action show are on Netflix. So you have that, right? Don't you, Tip?
I do.
Okay.
And I should have watched this, although.
Have you seen the anime?
Yeah,
too?
I've been up to other stuff. I've been building a playhouse, so that like occupies all of my.
Well, that's fun.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. But yeah, Major, I would definitely because the anime is on Netflix also, so I would definitely check that out.
Yeah, I saw that
Maybe
on
after-
the top 10 right now.
Yeah, I think you'd be like, wow, this is amazing. So
Okay. I'll give it a look. So
yeah, it's 26 episodes, so it's like
oh, that's it. That's nothing.
yeah. But I noticed, I don't know, I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil anything, but like the first scene from the first episode, I don't know, I won't give it away. So
Okey-dokey.
yeah, so maybe we should just break it down.
Spoilerized.
What episode was your favorite out of the 4 you've seen?
I guess episode 3 so far.
That was one with the dog, right?
Yeah, the dogs. Yeah, because like it finally paid out that stupid story arc. Like the first 2 episodes, I just was not on board with Jet Black's arc. Like the whole reason he's doing all this and risking his life is to buy his daughter a doll.
They
And
ripped
these
off-
dolls were
yeah.
2,000 woo. Like
They
get
ripped
out
off
of
the
here.
plot from Jingle All the Way.
Right, exactly.
Maybe that wasn't
like,
the best idea for your
maybe
anime adaptation.
not. But then like when the doll's ruined and like that's sad and I'm just gonna find another doll, but then he doesn't have enough money. He's got 9,000 instead of 10,000. There's just a lot of funny things. Like I was texting you guys about it. Like Spike has 7 woo to his name in that episode, right? And then at the end, like he takes a shot at Vicious at a bulletproof glass when he's in his car. But he just like walks away and like from that sniper rifle. And I'm like, that sniper rifle is probably like 2, 3, 5,000 woo. I mean, I don't know what the
Yeah, you
conversion
did
rate
just
is.
leave that
But
there.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like maybe if you weren't just trying to like being like into me style points, you'd have more than 7 woo to your fucking name. Like sell that gun.
Yeah.
Don't just like leave
Sell
it.
that gun.
Major plot hole.
There's
Major
evidence
plot
right
hole.
now too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like I no longer care about you bitching about you being poor, but I do like how they're successful. So you think they'd be richer every episode? However,
Well, they haven't got a single bounty, have they? Except like
No,
the
yeah, they
Walmart
did
guy.
that.
Yeah,
This
there's
is the
something's
first
gone
one.
wrong like every time.
Yeah, like everything costs so much money. Yeah, like it keeps like the sitcom trope of like everything ending the same as it started, basically.
Yeah,
Like
kind of
still broke ass bitches, but
kind of the same thing in the anime where they have these big bounties they're going for, but something always seems to happen.
Rob and I were talking about like the stupid CGI in like episode 1 with like
Oh
Casino.
yeah, those.
just being like some of the worst wire work I've seen since Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah,
In the first episode,
it makes
Cowboy
you.
Bebop?
It makes you think they fired some anti-gravity gun, but really they just blew a hole in the wall. And
Right.
everybody's getting sucked.
Well, that's why
to
I said that's why I said don't shoot that off in here because it would
Yeah.
gonna blow a hole and like. suck
Yeah,
into
but it
space.
was the visuals of it and the way they did it made it seem that way.
And
Or the
what I
Because all
thought
the,
was,
like they cut to the coins, all just slowly start coming up in the air. If there's a vacuum, it doesn't make everything start
it's not.
floating.
Yeah, it's not like an exponential like time. It just starts.
Or when
right
they
now.
let go and they're just obviously on wires being pushed down the hallway.
Oh, okay. I mean, I thought the opening sequence was pretty
But
good.
but besides that,
Oh yeah, it was
I
fun.
liked it.
Don't get me wrong. We're just talking about the CGI. I thought
Yeah, it was just some of
incredibly
the effects of
convenient
it.
that they shot a hole in the hull exactly where the emergency valve has,
But that always happens, yeah.
like the door. Like it doesn't lock down everything. It just locked down that one door. So like if you shot like 6 feet to the left or 6 feet to the right, that emergency like shut off valve or whatever.
The AI in the future knows.
The
Hey,
goon
look,
was thinking
they've
ahead.
got to They've got to think quickly, you know. Sometimes you don't make quite the best decision when you're in a panic. Man, you got to think. They're just like, bam, bam, like it's crazy out there.
I noticed they still kept a lot of the like old style computers and stuff like that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pagers. I like the CGI how like when they zoom out to reveal like they're in space and stuff.
Yeah,
that,
that was
like
cool.
the hotel.
Yeah,
like,
and
where the
it
casino
all
has,
looks like
the-
like a
looks
giant
roulette
black
wheel.
a roulette table. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh man, like that's
was kinda
probably going to
cool.
happen one day. Like the future is going to be cool.
I'm sure Dubai has like something similar. Like,
Oh,
you know,
man.
probably like a casino. Well, actually, they don't have casinos there.
When we
But,
start getting in space.
If we ever do, I mean, so expensive. Why can't we like
Well, the first
explore the
step is the
oceans,
moon.
like in Bioshock?
It's getting cheaper and cheaper, man.
Well, we're trying to get to Mars. I think that's what Musk is trying to do, at least.
What I've heard is because of all the fuel you got to spend just to get out of Earth's gravity.
Yeah.
If they make a base on the moon first and then lift off from the moon, it would be a
Because
lot.
of the lower gravity.
Yeah, it would be less weight, less
Oh.
fuel, and everything to get to
I'm
Mars.
just waiting for the space elevator, but we got to figure out what gravity.
How would that work? Because we're
guys-
constantly moving in space.
It would move with it.
It's going to be hard to like have it match up with the moon, which is constantly revolving around us, and the Earth
Oh,
is just
I
constantly
don't
revolving
think-
around the sun.
Well, I don't think
It's
it would be an
constantly-
elevator to
the
the
space
moon. It
elevator.
would
Yeah,
be
it
an
would be a
elevator
space
to it would be an elevator to another station.
Just imagining like all of us
Guys.
just sitting on a fucking elevator, like taking an elevator to the moon.
Raise your hand.
Like on a 4-day trip.
got tickets to the moon. And come back the next week.
How
Few
long do
days.
you think it would take before you get bored of the view of Earth from space? Like an hour, a day, a month, a year? Like how long before you become?
I feel like it
dull?
would get old after a while.
Right?
Or
Like,
lose
oh,
its
cool.
thrill after a while.
Yeah. Oh, there's the moon again. I just saw it 3 hours ago. Like, I wonder how long it would take.
Oh man, I heard a stand-up from somebody. It reminds me of, but he was talking about how his first day at Disney, and he's got like giraffes outside his window and stuff. It was like one of the hotels they were at, and then it's like a week later, he's like, "Oh, same giraffe outside my window."
Right.
All right.
So
the way,
maybe we should.
Wait, but every time you saw the Earth, it would be different,
Yeah, but
Maybe
like, would
almost
you
entirely.
care?
Think about it, because the clouds moving, you'd see different continents. You'd see.
Yeah, but like think about that. Like the
Changes.
stars are constantly changing. Every time you look up at the stars, I mean, maybe the answer is yes for you, Tip. But like every time you look at the stars, do you take 20 minutes and go, "Oh wow, like it looks slightly different because it's moved"? Or like,
Especially
wow,
us.
like,
Us
that's-
city
well, the
folks.
different seasons do offer different. I mean, it's kind of cool.
oh,
at.
it's very cool. I'm just saying, like in this digital.
Unless you
age-
live in a city, then well, then.
us city folks with all our
Yeah.
language.
Well, that's okay. That's when you pull out your iPad and you do like the Google stars or whatever. You can see it, even better than you would in the farmlands.
Maybe we should break down each episode at a time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that.
So the first one was basically just a remake of the first episode from the anime with the
Would you
blood
say
eye.
it was a remake beat for beat?
I mean, Faye wasn't in the first episode, so they introduced her, and I think they also introduced Vicious in that episode, which she wasn't in the first episode either. So, but like just like the main plot of like Spike and Jet going after this guy selling bloody eye. I guess it like doesn't really say what it does. I guess it just enhances your senses.
I like that.
It seems to like
Yeah.
make you not feel pain or something too.
And maybe, like,
'Cause
it's like a steroid.
Dude
He
was
just-
getting shot and didn't even seem to notice.
I guess it like makes you faster and like stronger.
He just mainline God. It's probably just a like extreme adrenaline and dope.
Call it Hulk drug.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Then they died at the end.
Hulk drug.
So. So yeah, basically, like I said, the beats were all there. They just introduced Faye and Vicious at the very end. So
I was really just making a pun, beat by beat, since it's jazzy and
hilarious.
Hip-hop itself is a form of jazz. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was good. They were definitely, and then the fourth episode I think is like another remake of another one.
Oh, we skipped episodes 2 and 3.
Oh, sorry, because like episode 2 is like basically just an original story. I don't think there was like a bomber who wore like a teddy bear costume in the
His
anime.
name's Theodore. I liked it. It was Teddy. Is it that easy? Yes, it is.
The writers just got like, we'll just say it was easy.
I like how he was like, let's go to the cockpit. And he was like, no, the jet's like, we're doing it my way. And then 5 minutes to run to the cockpit. He's like, don't say I told you so. He's like, I won't, but I did. Like that's like the banter. Like I think it's really good. I know you're not impressed with Spike's performance, but his his disingenuine or not his disinterest, I think, is like a specific actor decision, and I think like the character plays it well, almost to the point where I wish Keanu Reeves was playing him.
Yeah, he was originally supposed to play him, I think. Like,
Keanu Reeves would have been perfect as Spike.
Yeah, he was interested in like I don't know they couldn't get the budget right, but I know I don't want to say Spike is disinterested in the anime. He's more just like calm and slick. He's like he does care, but he's more just like in control and self-disciplined.
But calm and slick doesn't sound nearly as entertaining as disinterested.
As someone who's bored with the show is supposed to make me invested in the story.
No, but someone who's playing he's bored. I see what I understand what you're saying. I don't have
if the main character is bored, how am I supposed to be not bored?
Because it's the contrast between him and Jet. It's the buddy cop dynamic, and maybe over the time we see him start to become more interested, and then maybe that's just a lazy character arc.
Yeah,
maybe we see Spike start to give a damn about something, because that could be an interesting character arc.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, the other character arc we've seen so far is Jet trying to
get the Turbo Man doll.
For a doll. So, I mean, anything is up at this point. As of episode 4.
So episode 3, I think it was like another remake. It was like, but I think they it's like the guy Hakeem in the anime like kidnaps the dog, but the dog has like some sort of like scientific. He's like carrying something, but so I think they changed it in the show where it's like he just kidnaps dogs because he hates rich people. It was kind of dumb, and it's also weird. Like, doesn't his holographic thing stop working? So it shows that who he really is. But when they finally catch him, it's working fine. And he's just the white guy again.
Just for the fight scene, because I thought like the actor who played like the white guy, I thought he played like a really great performance. But there's no way he could do like the martial arts that.
But in the anime, he's
the guy who can do these stunts.
Yeah, but it's like they finally catch him and his hologram is working fine.
Yeah, so I think they're giving up that for acting.
Could they not get the guy who was doing the martial arts to?
Oh man, what about
the
little cut over to the strip club? And they had that old lady or.
Oh, that was great. I really.
Oh yeah, she's like young.
Yeah, and he's like, well, he's about to come. Get us. He's in
Rude Awakening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So sadly, I thought that was just kind of weird. Like they should have just like gotten an actor who could do martial arts and act, but I guess like they could just find like one at a time. So, but yeah, I thought the reason like he kidnaps dogs because rich people left his parents to die, and he couldn't wind up killing. It was just really weird.
Yeah,
not really well thought
because
out.
they sent their dogs.
Yeah, they sent their dogs
first
instead of
and that pissed him off a lot.
So he tried to kill the dogs and he couldn't kill the dogs.
But I think in the anime he has Ein for a whole different reason, and like that, like why can't they just use that?
I can't remember how they got him in the anime.
Well, he kidnapped Ein from some lab, so like Ein has like I don't know, maybe some sort of like virus in him or like something he was experimented on, but I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but it was better than I'm gonna kidnap dogs to get back at rich people. And my hologram suddenly works perfectly now.
Right.
So that was episode 3. That was like sort of like another remake, and then episode 4 was like sort of like the eco-terrorists who turned people into trees, which I don't think happened in the anime. I think it was like they turned them into monkeys or something that de-evolves them.
Turn into monkeys.
Yeah, so she's like the character Maria Murdoch is also in the anime, but I completely forgot what she was trying to do. I think she was also environmentalist. So yeah, that was the one where Faye dies but doesn't die, and then the 5th episode, I'm just starting out. It's like Jet's trying to clear his name because he got framed, I think.
Yeah, and he's teaming up with his old cop from his old life to take down this old guy who's escaped from prison. That's exactly where I'm at.
Yep. So, but yes, I mean, it's intriguing enough to make me want to finish the series. So, but I don't know if it's like the audience score isn't that much better than the critic score. Then I don't know if Netflix is going to renew this for season 2.
Yep. So if you want to see season 2, better rewatch season 1. Better get those views in.
How far into it do they show Ed?
I guess I don't know. He hasn't shown up yet. It's episode 5.
I don't know who Ed is, so not in the fucking first season.
Apparently, it's a girl named Edward. But she's like a child prodigy who's like a master hacker, and she joins.
It was kind of like the comedy in the anime on the side.
Yeah. So, and she always hangs out with Ein, and her dad is an even better martial artist than Spike. So.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like Ed's dad isn't even like he can like beat Spike one-handed without even trying. So
nice.
It's just interesting. So yeah,
I'm interested to see if they go into more about this, how they bring people back to life. Because I mean, Jet Black was definitely gunned down, dead, and yeah, he's still alive. So I'm interested to see.
Well, he lost his arm. So I mean, like he wasn't like he didn't walk away like unscathed.
Oh, he didn't die because I mean, Faye Valentine mentioned something about a cryopod. So I was wondering if like.
Well, she was frozen. She didn't die. She was like frozen and woken up in the future. So she's like from the past, like 70 years in the past, but she was awakened.
What I was thinking was like because she was reading out like her cryopod number, like why would that be important unless she was a clone?
It's just so people can identify her. Well, she's not a clone. Okay. It's like basically in the anime, like she was frozen, but because she was frozen for like 70 years, she's heavily in debt because it cost her like year per year.
That's not how interest works. I've seen Futurama. You just need like a penny in your bank account.
Well, apparently, I don't know. Apparently, she didn't invest in anything before she was frozen. And
should have gone into Tesla.
The fees she acquired while she was frozen were like too much to pay, so she had to run off. So I guess they're doing something similar. Apparently, like in the show, like someone like stole her life savings, so it's like the reverse. Like someone stole her money, so she's not in debt. But I don't know. So yeah, and this is like
then came bounty hunting.
Yep. So I think
cowboying. I like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I like how they kept the two on that show when they're talking about the
bounties. Yeah,
the bounties.
Yeah, they're talking about the
bounty characters.
Yeah, it's like the same outfits and everything from there.
Yeah, they changed I think they changed the actress though. Like the first actress in the second episode is different from the one in the 5th episode. I think.
I think I'm only 4 episodes in.
They look they're wearing the same, but I think the actress is different. So. But I don't know. So
if this was on Amazon, we could easily check with their awesome.
That's true.
Oh man, that's what I love that Amazon does. That man, you're like, who the hell is that? You just hit pause and it shows you everybody on screen.
Who is Leo DiCaprio?
Well, guys, do you want to watch something on Amazon for next week?
I guess so. I don't know. Matt didn't really get me that enthused.
Wheel of Time is on there.
Oh yeah, way to plug a future episode. Way to get excited for it.
I don't know.
I mean, in the words of Forrest, if the podcaster isn't interested, why would the viewer be interested?
I don't know. I mean, if it's bad, then we could be
watching. We'll rip it to shreds.
We could be walking to another Y: The Last Man. Don't put that evil on me.
It's not about the destination because it's not about the destination because the destination's horrible. It's about the journey.
The journey was also horrible while watching that.
Yeah, the journey was pretty bad too. But I enjoyed.
Did you guys finish it?
I'm on I got like episode 9, and I couldn't
do it. I couldn't get through episode 10.
It just felt so slow and drawn out.
Like none of the characters are likable.
Like it felt like nothing was happening.
That's why they canceled it before it was even over, which is like a death sentence. Like, because that just that just makes people
the
not even
network
want
doesn't even like have faith
that
in
makes
this show.
people not even want to finish watching like season 1. Like,
why would I
that's
watch
how much,
this show the network canceled before it was even done premiering? So.
right?
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Apparently, the reason it was canceled is because I think like there was like some in their contracts they were supposed to get bonuses for season 2, and FX didn't want to pay them. So I think that was like the official reason. But I think like
sense. I thought they were just trying to save face. Like, hey guys, like maybe you'll watch the next FX show if you pull out now and you don't realize how horrible this show is.
Yeah, it seems like Walking Dead's like really the only, and The Boys I guess is probably the two like big comic adaptations on TV or graphic novel adaptations, because like both are
When's
just
The
pretty
Boys
easy.
coming back?
Probably next
Everyone's
year.
holding their breath.
The Boys.
But it's like Preacher and like Why the Last Man and some other adaptations haven't been as successful because they're kind of like hard. They're very niche sort of ideas, but like Walking Dead's a very simple concept. It's like
Smallville was
zombies.
a fun show for a long time.
Well, Superman's like in the public knowledge, but you're trying to like sell these stories that no one's ever heard of before. But like Walking Dead, it's like zombies, apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's very easy to sell. And like The Boys, superheroes who are jerks in real life. Yeah, so like very simple
Invincible,
concepts.
very easy to move from The Boys.
Yeah, that too. But like Why the Last Man, a little hard of a concept. And plus, in the political climate we're in, there have to like you gotta tread carefully.
Gosh, yeah.
So and
Whatever.
Preacher,
They're not going to
like,
stop their Prime membership. They enjoy sucking on the teat of free delivery too much.
Yeah, so, but it seems that
They
Netflix
They just won't watch it.
is going hard on the anime adaptations. I think they're doing Yu Yu Hakusho and Gundam in the future, so they're just going all out in the anime adaptations.
Call it out now. What year are we getting live action Pokemon?
Oh, didn't we get one in with Detective Pikachu?
We got Detective Pikachu. I'm talking about like a Netflix series, like
They probably have already announced one. I think they probably announced a few other anime adaptations. I think they're already working on Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'm asking for a Yu-Gi-Oh live action
Probably.
adaptation.
Netflix is just
I'd
going
watch a
hard
live
on.
action Pokemon.
Yeah, Netflix is spending so much money on content creation,
Yeah.
and it's getting better.
But I don't know.
Some of it's not. Some of
do-
it's not.
Do y'all think Cowboy Bebop will get a season 2 based off the ratings?
I don't know. Probably not based off the ratings itself. However,
I mean, Witcher wasn't universally universally beloved, but it got a season 2. Apparently, a lot of people watched it, even though it wasn't like universally praised.
I can't.
That's because people wouldn't admit to liking it.
I can't believe how many people like hated on The Witcher. I thought Henry Cavill did a great job.
I think it was just like the non-linear storyline was confusing.
Yeah,
and,
it's like
I don't
get
think it
over
was like
Watch
Henry
it
Cavill
over
was the
again.
problem.
You gotta watch it twice. I am excited for the second season of Tiger King. Maybe we can cover that.
Oh, I heard it's not good. It's basically just a shameless. It's just a shameless cash grab. It's just like,
Nice. Exactly what I expect.
It's just like you remember the characters from the documentary. See what they're up to now. It's just like
Yeah, I mean, I figured it'd be a shameless cast.
Rob Lowe's still a jerk.
After Joel McHale did a special episode after Tiger King blew up. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna make as much money as they can off of this.
Yeah. So I guess that's all I really have for Cowboy Bebop. How about we talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, the second one?
OMG.
Can't wait.
How good does this movie look?
I mean, Electro looks a lot better.
I'm already
I was just like they gave Electro like a much better look, but they're still using the Sam Raimi Green Goblin costume. I was like, couldn't they get a better Goblin costume?
I don't know. It's pretty iconic, and who knows? Maybe they're doing a big reveal. Maybe they've got they're showing off one new because that makes sense, right? Like, or it doesn't make sense. Why would they give Electro a new costume but no one else a new costume, right? So maybe they're just revealing one new costume. The rest are going to be digitally CGI replaced for that.
Lizard also looks the same. I think people hated what he looked like in the Andrew Garfield movie.
Right, and I mean, if anything, Kevin Feige is a master of the feedback.
And I don't like that Doc Ock has red tentacles. I'm like, did he get his arms from Stark Tech? I'm gonna be so mad.
That's what the prevailing theory online is, that the nanobots from Spider-Man's suit.
I'm just like, enough Tony Stark.
Just Tony Stark will never die. Not until they,
You're gonna have a little
I
reference.
mean,
to
they
the
can
Stark
reference
industry.
him, but he shouldn't be the reason the villains are bad in a Spider-Man movie. Like, they should hate Spider-Man or someone else who's not Tony Stark. It's just,
Well, I mean, so
all the
are
shit
you,
Tony
what
Stark
are you
does.
saying? Like, no more.
What was that? What was that, Rob?
Oh, it's like basically saying, look at all this stuff the Stark industry started.
That's basically like he's the reason for everything that bad happens in the Marvel.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a slam on the arms industry, for sure.
Yeah. So
Funny.
basically, I think the thing we learned in this
There's 5.
trailer was that there's at least 5 villains. I'm surprised Vulture isn't in this because they could do Sinister Six, but
Do you think that's the big reveal? I mean, obviously they're not going to do 5 of the 6. They're going to do all 6, right? Like,
I know.
They just do 5 of the 6. It's like running a marathon and stopping a mile short.
But yeah, so I think the big reveal in this trailer, the thing that I took away is like apparently Spider-Man turns on Doctor Strange because if he sends these villains back, they're going to be killed by Spider-Man.
Right? Yeah. So I'm thinking like, Peter Parker says like he commits to no more killing, right? Like after the whole Mysterio thing. And so now he's going out of his way to like try to save these people from dying because he finds out that in other universes he kills them.
Well, he didn't kill Mysterio. Mysterio killed himself when he like set those drones off, and he said
Well,
like
yeah,
turn
but
off
he's
friendly fire. If you watch the movie, he's like turn off friendly fire, and he gets himself shot.
Yeah,
That
but
wasn't Peter's fault.
He's still gonna blame himself though. It's a Marvel.
Oh yeah,
movie.
he does do that a lot. He blames himself for everything.
Right, exactly.
The
And so
comics.
then he's gonna find out that these other Spider-Men killed these other bad guys, and so he's gonna try to save them from dying in his universe when they cross over. That's why it's gonna happen.
He absolutely had no problem killing those aliens in.
Well, that's different.
Endgame.
They were great. They didn't have faces or whatever. They were
They were intelligent beings.
Yeah,
who were
these
probably forced into service by Thanos, and they're just like, yeah.
I 100% agree with you. Leave your thoughts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or here.
So-
I guess that's what a podcast
Oh,
is.
so who's your favorite Spider-Man?
I mean, definitely Tom Holland.
I'm liking Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
I would then say Andrew
yeah, I liked,
Garfield,
I
just
liked
because
Far From
Tobey
Home Homecoming.
Maguire put such a bad taste in my mouth with Spider-Man 3.
I think the first 2 Spider-Man movies are still the best ones.
I mean,
So
Spider-Man 2 is like just absolutely legendary. I'm really excited for Doc Ock to return and not Tobey Maguire. Wink, wink.
Say, hey, what's your name? Dr. Octavius.
oh no, really.
Yeah, they start laughing.
I think in the trailer maybe he might team up with Doc Ock to take on the other villains, but I think it's just like one theory, which I don't know. I hope Doc Ock's evil.
I thought about that too. The way they had him like trapped in there talking to him. Maybe they like they talk their way into something working together.
Yeah. Also, J. Jonah Jameson's in this, so he's gonna have a bigger
excited.
role.
Love
so
that.
I hope he has his bowl top haircut.
Are some other Spider-Mans gonna pop up?
I think so.
That's what everyone's saying. They can't reveal it. It's just like Andrew Garfield. He gets whatever he does at an interview. They ask him. He says like, I don't know, or
He's
like
always
he has to
saying
deny.
no, yeah.
I'm just like, just reveal that he's in the movie, just so he doesn't have to do this anymore. He basically confirms, he's like, I can't confirm or deny, which means he's in it. So it's just like, that means he's in it. You could just say like no, but
you don't want to lie.
I'm just like Feige, just say that they're in the movie, so you can stop torturing
Yeah, like
this
why?
guy.
Why would you not want that?
It's not going to be like everyone's figured they've been in the movie for like the past year. No one's going to like be shocked. It's like the worst kept secret.
I mean, what was that
Hollywood
other
right
movie they did where? I guess this is different, but like we saw with Batman or the Justice League, like Henry Cavill was on the press tour for Justice League, and it's like, oh, but Superman's dead. I wonder if Superman's going to come back.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like, maybe.
Are you doing the press tour? Are you coming back? He's like, maybe. Why else would I be here on this press tour? But I can't say I will be, even though the end of the movie showed gravel lifting over my grave, which is,
floating.
a part of the Kryptonian battery process, obviously, guys.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it should be good. I enjoy the first 2 Tom Holland movies, but
I'm equally excited because Benedict Cumberbatch said Doctor Strange was on par with this.
Well, it's setting up Doctor Strange 2 because I think at the end of the trailer, it's like the multiverse is opening and I can't stop it, so it's going to lead straight to Doctor Strange.
When
do you
does
think's
Doctor
opening
Strange
up?
come out?
Next year. It's like May of next year.
Like,
So it's like this is gonna lead
It's
right into that
the
movie.
Summer blockbuster.
Yeah, it's gonna like
That's how
have
they work it. They have all their new shows and movies come out just lead into their next movie or show.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Hawkeye comes out before.
That's
I think Hawkeye
how
comes
you
out
keep
next,
us watching this.
Comes out next week, I think. So we can talk about that.
Yeah.
instead of
So
Wheel of
Like,
Time.
if you wanted that reference, go watch this show.
Yep. So, I don't know. We got a lot to talk about, I guess, in the coming weeks. So, but that's really all I had. You want to plug the social media, Mage?
Yeah, absolutely. You can tweet at us on Twitter. That's where all the tweets live. You can tweet at us at Zealot Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. There you can join our Discord and have fun with the conversation. Send us your thoughts on Cowboy Bebop, and do you think it deserves a second season? Let us know what you think about the podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share if you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening, guys.
I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
Now I'm Robbie.
And I am Tip.
All right. Bye, everyone.